Ellen White was no scientist, yet many of her most controversial health, education, and social statements made in the 19th century are now being vindicated by cutting-edge research. Critics have long dismissed her as outdated or an alarmist, but time, like fruit on a tree, reveals the truth. As Jesus said, "By their fruits you shall know them," not by popularity or predictions, but by the long-term impact of their message. And White's insights, once ridiculed, now echo in peer-reviewed journals and global health policies. From the dangers of over-medication to the benefits of a plant-based diet, from early warnings about tobacco and alcohol to insights into brain health and childhood development, a council was far ahead of its time. Perhaps it wasn't guesswork after all. Perhaps it was instruction. Let the evidence speak. Here are 10 of the most controversial statements, each followed by a brief explanation and supporting quote from a reputable scientific source, including the author, year, and journal of publication. Let's get into it. The first claim that she made was masturbation impairs mental and physical health. The source is: the mind is often utterly ruined and the body enfeebled by the sacred habit. An appeal to mothers, page 27. White warned against the habitual sexual behavior as a cause of mental and physical weakness. And what's the scientific evidence? Frequent pornography consumption is associated with reduced gray matter volume in the right quadrant of the brain. This is from Kuhn and Gallinat, 2014, JAMA Psychiatry. Cheese should be avoided. Cheese should never be introduced into the stomach. This is Testimonies for the Church, Volume 2, page 68. She viewed cheese as an unhealthy mucus-forming product. And evidence: cheese is high in saturated fat and sodium, contributing to cardiovascular risk. This is Messina, 2016, the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The ideal diet is a plant-based one. And she said, grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables constitute the diet chosen for us by our Creator in Ministry of Healing, page 296. White promoted a plant-based diet as God's original plan. And what is the evidence today? Plant-based diets are associated with substantially lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Tobacco is a poison. Tobacco is a slow, insidious, but most malignant poison. Spiritual Gifts, Volume 4, page 128. She denounced tobacco long before it was officially linked to disease. And the scientific evidence today is cigarette smoking is causally linked to lung cancer and heart disease. This is from the British Medical Journal. Alcohol dulls morality and clarity. Alcohol confuses the brain, deadens the moral perceptions in Temperance, page 40. She warned that alcohol impairs decision making and spiritual clarity. And today the science is speaking. Alcohol use is linked to over 200 diseases and injury conditions, including neurocognitive deficits. This is from the WHO in 2018 on a global status report on alcohol and health. Number 6, she said, do not push academic demands on young children. And she said, open quote, the system of education carried out for children of such tender years is one of the greatest causes of evil. Child Guidance, page 300. Ellen White cautioned against pressuring young children with formal education. And what is the evidence today? Excessive early academic instruction can harm children's motivation and long-term achievement. And this is Miller and Almond, 2009, Alliance for Childhood. Excessive drug use causes more harm than good. She said drugs never cure disease. They only change its form and location. Healthful Living, page 243. She warned that over-reliance on drugs masks symptoms instead of healing. The quotation: the science, polypharmacy is associated with increased risk of adverse drug events and hospitalization in the elderly. This is from Maha, Expert Opinion on Drug Safety. And she said, sugar weakens the body and mind. Sugar is not good for the stomach. Counsels on Diet and Foods, page 327. She criticized sugar for its negative effects on digestion and health. And what's the evidence? High consumption of added sugar increases the risk of metabolic syndrome and heart disease. This is from the British Medical Journal. Now to two of her most controversial claims. She advocated separate worship for blacks and whites in the South. Let white and colored people be saved in separate rooms, manuscript 26 in 1903. Given the racial violence of her time, White advised temporary separation to protect black believers, and the evidence for this is in the Jim Crow South, such separation often prevented lynchings and allowed African Americans to worship in peace. This is a report from Baker in 2009 Andrews University Seminary Studies. So during that time, it was spot on. The sin of amalgamation brought the flood, and she said the base crime of amalgamation of man and beast was the sin that brought the flood, and she wrote this in Spiritual Gifts, Volume 3, page 64. While ambiguous, she clearly referred to genetic corruption or moral perversion. And what's the science today? Interbreeding between Neanderthals and modern humans has shaped portions of our genome. This is from the journal Science in 2010. Clearly, surely the Lord will do nothing unless He reveals His secret to His servants, the prophets. Critics claim these statements were unscientific, but today, science is finally catching up to those statements that she said a long time ago, before people even were aware of those statements. The Bible says, believe the prophets and you shall be established. And as always, God bless you.